I hear is you on a podcast just yelling like, you're gonna die one day.
You're gonna die.
Make sure to be happy, and I'm not happy anymore.
I've been thinking a lot about this. I actually think dads are in the best spot they've been in the last 30, 40 years.
Now with Dad Gang and the community that we have, I just feel like all of these dads have been able to embrace each other.
My daughter Quincy's 3, and she walks downstairs, like pulls on my shoulder, and she's like, I need more time with you. Wow. 3 years old. She walked away, fucking burst into tears, wrote my resignation letter. I resigned 30 days later, had no idea what I was gonna do after that, and then Dad Gang came along.
90% of people won't do that, what you did.
I get a random Tuesday meeting and they're like, we gotta cut you. Been there for 2 months. I don't have a job. We're closing on the house, second kid on the way. I just went into like this, I call it demon mode.
And if you're a real man, you're gonna save yourself. There's something about adversity and pain and like back against the wall and like me versus everyone. I'm intoxicated by it in a way that's darker than you think.
I moved out at 16 years old, not because I didn't love my parents, but because we just didn't have the same vision for my life.
If you are over 18 years old, if your parents have a tracking system on your phone, you're a fucking loser. Well, you're gonna get me emotional right now.
All right, Dad Gang community. We are here today with the one and only Gary Vee. We're gonna sit down, talk about all things business, fatherhood, community, our stories, and we have a big announcement at the end. So stay tuned. Can't wait for you to hear this conversation. Just wanna say first and foremost, thank you, not even for Dad Gang at the moment, but like we have all been following everything you do since, I don't know, since before you were even like bigger on YouTube. I remember
You guys found me early.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I remember like straight out of college, I had no clue. I went to college to be a dentist.
Yep.
Ran into chemistry and I was like, well, can't do that.
Yeah.
And, but I had no idea what to do.
Chemistry does suck.
Yeah.
It does, on the record.
And I just remember being just like surfing YouTube and just looking around and seeing your content and kind of sparked an interest as a college student to make content and do stuff on the internet. That was kind of like the initial thought. Started a blog at Washington State University and I was like, okay, this is pretty fun. And then while watching your stuff, just like the simplicity of how you preach on, if you want to start something or build something, grab your phone and start doing it.
Yeah.
And fast forward to where Dad Gang is, it's like when we started the brand, it was like, we have hats and we have phones. Let's make content, let's document everything we're doing. Let's not overcomplicate the process, because I grew up in my career, I was like in an agency.
Yep.
And everybody would sit there, CEOs and CMOs, and over-optimize like the caption on a post, the color of a picture or a little detail. And it was just kind of like, just post it. I call it posting and ghosting.
Yep.
Because I'm like, just get it out there and then take another shot on goal on multiple platforms. And so through that like mentality of stop overthinking, be patient in your process, have abundance to others. Like, you're not the only one that needs to win in this thing. There's others that can win, but you can carve your own path. Like through that mentality, and then you also put out a video that was like, stop watching my videos, go do the shit I'm saying.
Yes.
I was like, damn, he's right. I have to stop watching.
I remember the moment you saw that.
Yeah, I was like, okay, you can only like listen to
By the way,
somebody.
on the record, that was a devastating moment in my career. I think I lost like 40% of my viewership.
Really?
No, but yes.
But for a good reason.
It was the point I was trying to make was, don't necessarily stop watching me.
Unsubscribe.
No, that video was that was a very big highlight of my career. The amount of people that referenced that specific video.
Yeah.
The bad side of that video was a lot of people stopped and started to watch a worse version of me and not do anything.
Yeah.
And I've met those kids who've come back to my content. And then the good part is people like yourself who didn't necessarily stop watching, but would not just watch and not do. The point was, everything is about action.
Yeah.
You know, everybody watching right now, let's talk to the dads since we're in this context. So many dads watching, you know, are unlike us are not in love with what they're doing for a living. And have responsibilities. We know what that is, right? And so they do have to do the hard thing that a lot of fathers and mothers do for their family, which is, they are doing a job that is sucking their soul, not providing for them, because they do have mortgages. They do have, paying off their own or their spouse's debt. They do have a child. Some people married, into a family that has a higher standard financially than they grew up with. And now they're trying to keep up with the Joneses of their wife's family.
Yeah.
Some have grew up with a friend group where 2 or 3 others have gone on to be a little bit more financially successful than them. And they're just waking up this morning at 41 years old and feeling down on themselves without realizing that financial status should never be a father or a human's North Star of self-esteem. It's good. I like being good at what I do, but it is not where you can find your self-esteem. And all of that is to say, and I'm bouncing off what you just said, I just need them to realize that if they're miserable, many tonight will watch an NBA Finals. We're filming this in game 1 of the finals, so I'm very nervous. Many will use tonight's basketball game for 3 hours to escape the fact that they hate their job.
Yeah.
I say to those people, put that game in the background and take advantage of the single greatest era of opportunity in human history, which is the open internet with the open social network framework on top. I don't have to tell you guys, you've built this phenomenal business on this framework. It is staggering how big this opportunity is.
Yeah.
There's somebody who's literally drinking their sorrows away. This is real, what I'm about to say. I'm gonna break it down. This is probably for my own content now because I've been thinking about this a lot lately. There's a human who right now is drinking 6 beers a night to drink their anxieties and unhappiness away, that literally can take their phone instead of what they're using now and doom scrolling and reinforcing their unhappiness, because your algorithm is reinforcing where you're at mentally right now. So I promise you that dad who's drinking 6 different beers to get through tonight for tomorrow, his feed is extremism on politics on the left or the right, fear, negativity, tearing down others, envy, jealousy, anger. If that man took that phone, flipped it around, hit record, and took those 6 microbrews and reviewed them
Right.
Jeez.
as a beer connoisseur and posted them, that would be the beginning of him changing his life into happiness. And I know there's a 1 to 5% chance that a year of doing that every day would lead to him being able to literally build a side hustle that could subsidize his unhappy 9 to 5, or even scarier in this era, a business selling merch and selling beer affiliate subscriptions. And we have TikTok affiliate in the background right now, which we need to talk about because I think we could use it to blow up our business. This is the greatest era.
Right.
And I can't get this image of a buddy. I make this person in my head right now is a buddy of mine. He's just drinking beers. And instead of buying 1 6-pack or 2 6-packs of a crappy beer, I want him to go to the liquor store tonight and do a mixed 6-pack of 6 microbrews, flip the camera, instead of doing this, and reviewing them. The third video could be the change of his life. That is insane.
Yeah.
Because in 1967, that same guy just drinks his life away.
Yeah.
In
Right.
1984, that same guy drinks his life away. In 1992, that same guy drinks his life away.
Yeah.
Boys, you are not building this business in 1990.
Not
Right.
a chance.
You can't do it. It was too much money to get this hat into fucking lids or fucking models or it's not happening.
Yeah.
I do not understand when people are going to wrap their head around the single greatest era of human opportunity, and yet 99% of the fuckers out there are like, social media is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love, so
Facts.
two
I'm done here.
two things out of that. Obviously the comparison culture is fucking stupid, but the thing was that like even Grant or I, and we all have stories that were like, fuck all of that noise. Like I hopped out of college and worked for a streetwear brand for free and commuted to Seattle hour every day. I mean, even my parents were like, dude, you just finished college and like this is what you're doing.
Yeah.
But there was, and this is while watching your stuff, and I'm like, I'm not gonna be like, Mom, Gary said so.
By the way, on the record, by the way, I get a lot of emails from like, hey, this is Mrs. Thompson.
Yeah.
And little Ricky just said, hey, Gary, fuck you, Gary. I'm like, fuck you, Mom.
But I would send a link to my parents and be like, this is a great
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
This is a great point. You know.
And Grant, what
like-
did they have to say to that, Grant?
They digested it. You know.
You had it solid.
Yeah, it was a good conversation, you know, and it was an open conversation about it.
The big one for me was college. I mean, I went through 5 to 10 years of getting angry parent emails. 5 to 10 years. Now, a lot of those same parents, like literally, some of the email threads I have I would argue that my inbox, Victoria, you know this, I would argue that my inbox is one of my greatest sources of validation. Like you're talking about people emailing 9 years later from the same thread.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's
where
wild.
it's like, first email is parent mad at me for kid not going to college because of me. I'm like, that's you. I'm just on the internet making some content.
Yeah.
To me replying, I'm so sorry, but I bet you'll be okay. To 9 years later, them being like, thank you. Like that is incredibly validating.
And that's something that we've always loved about you and watch outside of like the business and the marketing is, you know, to give you your flowers while you're here, man. Like you have moved millions of lives, millions. And mine personally, because we all have, as dads, have gone through so much.
Yeah.
And before we were even fathers, gone through so much, you know, and thinking back on life, man, and to be able to sit here, it's powerful.
Thank you, my man. That's very kind.
So, man, it really
Means a
is
lot to
because we've been through it too, and you know, it's like seeing my grandfather and my dad and all just the American dream. Truthfully, like my grandfather coming over from Indiana from a farm that didn't have electricity, and then my other grandfather having our family-owned business, and my dad being there, and then me leaving when I moved out at 16 years old, not because I didn't love my parents, but because we just didn't have the same vision for my life, and I knew I could do it.
Yeah.
And getting out there and hitting the streets and growing up fast,
And finding your people.
finding my people, man, it's powerful to be able to take your content and have it resonate, not just as like the marketing of the business, but like life, man, and just to see how many generations it takes for a family to finally find success. And when we talk about like the dad having those 6 beers, as much as he could flip it around and make a business out of it, what could you flip around for your life so your kids can see? And I didn't want to stay at my family auto shop, not because I didn't love the auto shop, but the world is so big. There's so much more to the world than being on the same block since 1935. And I saw what my great-grandfather did, I saw what my grandfather did, and I saw what my dad did, and they are on the same exact street. My dad's still there right now, today, on the same street. And when I left that home and wanted to make a way, it wasn't because I didn't love them, I didn't want to be there. Dude, I was rolling 30 bombs of Coors Lights across freezers and packaging up beer and wine and everything at my dad's auto shop in a big convenience store, and working the cash register at 7 years old. You know, my grandfather lived right behind it in the alleyway. I used to take my dad's till and we'd go up to my great-grandpa's house, we call it Gramps' house, and we'd go up there, we'd lock the front door because it was in it's in a terrible neighborhood. And we'd lock the front door, lock the door to the room, and my dad and I would count the cash, and he'd take it to the bank. And so that was like the life that they had since 1935. And then when we found your content, and when, you know, there was something resonating like, man, we can do this. We can build something, and I don't care how long it takes, but I know I have to start now. You know, and it's been so powerful because my family wouldn't be where they are today, from my 2 boys to my wife, to now my parents and my dad and them, like they're really just, they're in awe of how it happened.
Yeah.
And it's wild to be able to just feel your family, because for years there's so much uncertainty in life. You know, and it's just ebbs and flows. Money comes, money goes, and it's just being able to stick through that. And so when you talk to that dad who's having those 6 beers a night, man, I have family members that are like that, and those are people that I love so much, you know, and it's one of those things where if we could flip that around, so like, hey, what if you put those 6 beers down Or what if you use that to create something? What would that not only do for your personal life, but for what your kids are watching you grow? Like my oldest boy has seen me grow up. Well, I had him at 25. You know, my 1-year-old, he's not gonna see that version of me. You know, so it's just like truly thankful for you for putting out that content because nobody else was doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and you moved millions of lives.
Thank you. There's a lot of things running through my mind off that beautiful rant. First, my mom used to always say to me as a kid, and she said it in Russian, I'll translate it. It would be like, translate to small boat, small waters, big boat, big waters, right? And what she was always telling me was that I was just destined for the ocean. I wasn't going to be, you know, a different way to say it is like, you know, a lot of the people that you see right now, including your father, you know, these are boats that are meant for the lake or for the river or for the stream. And you're just meant for the ocean, you know? And I think what's really most important about what you just said is not necessarily what I think a lot of people will take out of this content. Because they'll look at it literally, they'll be like, man, he made it financially.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Like what he's talking about is like, they built this business, and by the way, that is a part of it.
Yeah.
But I think the bigger part that I've always tried to speak on, especially when you're 16 or 20, or even what so much of my content continues to be, even when you're 42, because I'm like, what are you gonna do with the next?
You're a baby.
What are you doing with it? Like, I know a lot of people like making jokes at me about this. Like, you know, in the comments, they're like, guy rolls up on Gary, 69 years old. Gary, you know, but I do struggle with it. It just seems very logical. You're 42 years old. Like, how old are you?
43. Literally last week.
Perfect. I knew I was in pocket. What the fuck? You're gonna be here for 50 more years. Like when 34-year-olds come up to me and they're like, man, I'm like, what are you talking? Back to basketball. Then the Spurs, back to their last series, they lost a game. I think it was game 5, where they were up 15-0. It was 15-0. They came out the gate on the road, 15-0. OKC is dead silent. They lost by 15. Like I don't understand how people understand you have time, but what's most important is when you're 16, when you're 20, when you're 25, when you're 29, you have so much opportunity for high risk. Mm-hmm. You have so much opportunity, even when you have a child at 25, which is obviously a different variable, which starts to eliminate some of the higher risk potential, but it's about being emotionally happy.
Yeah, that's it.
Your oldest son, I hope my children, and this will be a very big theme of how I continue to parent them, understand that it isn't the financial aspect of the journey I chose or the things I talk about that has brought joy. It is the choosing to do something I like. For example, here's a good one. I have no emotion, and I mean zero, for my children to be anything like me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I could care less if my children wanted to be entrepreneurs. Could care less. I'm obsessed with them liking what they do.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with them living within the means that they create from what they do.
Yeah.
Like if they choose to be like a nonprofit executive, like I'm not gonna subsidize their life.
Yeah.
Right.
Now they'll get the benefit of being my child. Like for my 70th birthday, if we go to an island, they're coming. But if and that, as a father, dads, I actually think I've been thinking a lot about this. It's interesting that we did this partnership. I actually think dads are in the best spot they've been in the last 30, 40 years. I feel like the extremism of red and blue has created this real big opportunity for purple. I feel a lot of dads across the country and around the world, from a liberal to conservative, from an over-coddling to like belt to ass, I feel like a lot of dads, and this is the last 6 to 12 months, I can smell this in the water, what I do for a living. I feel a lot of dads are comfortable to have both right now.
Yeah. Well, that's why we have the "if you know, you know" on the side of the hat. It's like, it's that unspoken acknowledgement where if you see another dad with it, it's like, man, you're going through it. Like, and I don't even know what your background is, and so.
I'm excited about this. I'm excited. I feel like a lot of overly liberal dads 10 years ago because of the culture, felt concerned to be like, if like, for example, one of the biggest reasons I started making content 10 years ago about 8th place trophies is I know that was bugging the shit out of a lot of winner dads.
Yeah.
Well, I went hard into that. That we've established. That is like ruining lives.
Oh, 100%.
I also feel on the flip side that a lot of dads who were a fastball right down the pipe, being like, be a fucking man, like all that, I feel like are in a place now where they're like, you know what? I'm gonna throw a little bit of an off-speed pitch. I can use a little bit of like soft skills with my boy as well. I think we're in a very good era where dads are getting more cultural support, which will trickle down into their home, of being able to be dads.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is they can use every move. Hard when they have to be hard, soft if they choose that that's the right off-speed. I really do think of it as like a pitcher.
Yeah.
Like I think for dads, I think a lot of us need to be like Paul Skeens, right? Like a lot of fastballs that just blow you away. And like the father a lot of times needs to be, I mean, I said it to my son the other day. Opening line, I'm not your mom, bro. Yep. Opening line, you know? And then like, I'm like me, like it was all like love, but I was like, hey, like this is my role.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and so, yeah, so I think it's a good era for dads. I'm actually very optimistic.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I know Ejay, when you left Mirror, that was a huge, or not Mirror,
Die-cut?
sticker, die cut. That was a huge moment for you.
Yeah. So touching on college, I walked into 2 colleges right out of high school with my mom. I could have gone to a bunch of colleges for free because it was a tuition exchange thing. She was working at a college in admin, which benefited us as kids.
Yes.
Walked into 2 schools, wasn't for me.
You could feel it in your
I could
stomach.
feel it. Walked in, walked right out. And I was like, I can't do it. I don't know why, but I just cannot go to college. I don't know what it is.
How old are you?
I was
How old are you now?
41.
Yep.
And so,
You guys are so fortunate. You know, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
no, you're good.
You were just on the cusp of the age where you could start to have that convo. If you were literally 10 years old or 9 years older like I am, your mom, like you would have not done that.
Oh, 100%.
You would like it was. I'm just so happy. That's why I asked you how old you are. You caught it. You had perfect timing.
Yeah.
And the kids underneath you have full optionality. Right now, 18-year-old us, they're like, fuck.
Oh, man.
I have no idea.
They're like double fucking fingers up. They're like, they're not even stressing. You stressed it.
I did.
Because
I
you're like,
did.
fuck, this is the thing I'm supposed
All my
to.
kids,
Yeah, exactly.
all my friends going
That's
to
right.
college.
You stressed it. I bared it only to appease my parents, who I obviously am obsessed with. But I mean, I would never be going to college today if I was 17 years old, and my parents wouldn't struggle with it.
Right.
And that is a great thing in the world today. But keep going.
And that's where I got lucky, though, is both my parents. So my dad was the provider, protector, was working 24/7, graveyards, everything to meet. Then my mom was the supportive one, the energy.
Yep.
So we walk in, mind you, this is free college, and I'm like, something doesn't feel right. She's like, okay.
It's huge.
Couldn't believe it. And so
You were shocked.
I was actually shocked
Yeah,
because
I would have been shocked. My mom did not do that, and that would have shocked me.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that she had that much support, but she's like, just follow what you feel is right. And then that's
So what did you do?
So I ended up partnering with a guy, and we started an online sticker company.
Yep.
Back in 2007. So
Yeah.
we were early internet, quote request forms, taking PayPal, faxing credit cards in.
Was this the era where Sticker Mule was a real leader?
They were a couple years after us, and
Not
they were
after.
like after. So it was like Sticker Giant,
I remember them.
and then diecutstickers.com, and then we had Sticker Mule, and Sticker Mule is just massive now. They're
What did they do well?
marketing.
Yeah.
They put a ton of money
Yeah,
in the
that's
marketing.
why I know it, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we didn't do well, but
Yeah. Did you learn from that?
100%.
You watching them? Yeah.
Because they just started pumping ads and content early, and we were
What
really
were you relying on? SEO?
a lot of SEO, but it was
Yep.
a lot of grassroots.
Yeah.
Like we were very
Hand
localized.
hand to hand. Yeah.
And
Okay.
which we embodied ourselves really
Which is
into the
great.
thing, which was awesome. The business is still live today.
Yeah.
It's doing great. But I was driving hour and a half every day. And this is where your content came in for me. It wasn't even on the business side as much as it was on like the personal side. The you're gonna fucking die one for me. I'm struggling for years. I mean, I'm started this business with a friend. We're doing it for like 15 years. I have kids. I'm not seeing them at all. And I'm driving up and down I-5 for 90 minutes each way. And all I hear is you on a podcast just yelling like, you're gonna die one day. Make sure to be happy. And I'm not happy anymore.
Yeah.
And so I go home, and this is where like moments are so mind-blowing for me. My daughter Quincy's 3. I'm just struggling trying to figure out what to do next. And she walks downstairs. She like pulls on my shoulder, and she's like, I need more time with you.
Wow.
3 years old.
3-year-old.
And I was like, okay. So she walked away, fucking burst into tears, wrote my resignation letter. I resigned 30 days later and had no idea what I was going to do after that. But I just kind of turned into my friends and my network. And then I became a operations director for a print shop for a short time. COVID happened, got a job with a drinkware company called Mirror, which was a great experience. And then Dad Gang came along. And the only thing that I could think about in this entire process is I want to be near my kids. Yeah. And now we have a business where I literally work in my backyard. Yeah. And I get to do it from home. To your point, this would never happen.
And it's not even about the success of the money. It's about being able to go through all of that shit and know you're doing it for the right reasons, and knowing that you're coming home and you're looking your kids and your wife in the eyes and you're happy. And it didn't matter what you had, you knew you were going.
And, I'm sorry to interrupt. And the first right reason is it's good for you.
Yeah.
You cannot be good for them if it's not good. People have to wrap their head around this.
Yeah.
The ultimate way to be selfless is to start by being selfish.
Yep.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the 7 equities before?
No.
My friend Kevin Sturman put this together. It's in order: mind, body, soul, family, friends, business, money. In that order. Most people are chasing the money in the business.
Yeah, of course.
And their health. I mean, how many times has our health gone to shit because we're chasing money or business or another emails? And I flipped that around and was like, I'm going to work out now. I'm going to watch what I eat. I was eating teriyaki chicken and rice every day.
Of course.
It was attached to the office.
It was attached to that.
Convenience is king. Convenience
I
is king.
conveniently put on 50 pounds too. And so, when you flip that and you really become the best version of yourself, you're becoming the best version for your kids. And then business and money typically seem to work out because you're living in least restriction.
Yeah, and again, the money thing, I'm thinking so heavily right now about the people that are consuming this content that are like, fuck you guys. I think about that all the time when I make my content.
Yeah.
And I always think about people that are cynical or stuck in the face of optimism or hope or prosperity or joy. It's triggering.
Yeah.
Right? It's showing you what you want and don't have. And there's a couple things I want to say to people that are in that spot. If you're listening right now, like, fuck you. Here's where I'm at. 1, fuck you too. And what I mean by that, and it's actually it's very important that I'm saying this. This is important. When you realize that no one's coming to save you and no one gives a shit because they've got their own problems, that is the day one thing that gets you going. Because the thing that people that are in a bad spot when they're deploying hate, what they're looking for is comfort. Mm-hmm. What they're looking for is a hero. It's why they believe these bullshit politicians. They all do the same shit. Every politician to me is literally exactly the same.
Yep.
I know people think they're very different. They're the same. Mm-hmm. They're gonna tell you who to hate or what to hate. It's gonna be different people if you're left or right. Yeah. And then they're gonna tell you that they can save you.
Right.
When I tell you every politician to me is Charlie Brown, wah, 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 wah. Don't. And what's happening is the people right now that are upset think someone's gonna save them. And if you're a real man, you're gonna save yourself.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is you have this moment, and this might be the moment for someone on the other side, because I'm poking at the bear right now, is instead of being angry at the human or the thing, you start to realize that's where you're trying to go, and you need to take a step back and deploy some humility. And this is why I talk about age a lot. Because if you're 44, it's easier to think you can't. A 22-year-old listening right now, you got, right? Yeah. You're in. That's why I do so well with that group. You're so moldable.
Yeah.
And so even though you're angry and be like, fuck that, and my mom fucked me up and this and that, you're like, wait, Gary Vee, let's go. 42's hard. Because now you've lived, you're like deep, you're in deeper waters.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tougher to get out of the pool in the deep end with your feet than in the shallow end, right?
Yeah.
So you're in deeper waters, but I need you to hear me on this person that's listening that's like, This is number one. Living within the means of how much money you make will change your life.
Yeah, big time.
So simple too.
I know so many people making $312,000 a year that are in financial trouble and are stressed every day.
Yeah.
I have equally, because the way I grew up was pretty humble, I know friends making $85K cruising.
Yeah.
Cruising.
Yeah.
Because they're living a $49,000 a year lifestyle.
Yeah.
They live humbly by American standards.
Yeah.
They have Netflix, not Netflix and Hulu and Paramount.
Yeah.
They make their coffee, not every day. They lease a more humble car because they're not trying to use a leased car BMW to,
Flex.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're thoughtful. They buy one dad gang hat, not 39, though we'd love them to buy 39. And so,
Got some.
and I'm telling you, my friends, one, realizing that if you live within your means, two, realizing if you want those means to be triple, the internet and social media and live shopping and affiliate, it's all here for you. No one's stopping you. No regulation, no government, no boss. That becomes intoxicating, and everything I just talked about the last 3 minutes is real. Now, whether you believe it or not is on you. How you see the world is how it is.
I think it's when you become a dad too, and you have your kids there, all that outside noise can either be silenced or amplified on where you are trying to go with your family. Because to me, when I didn't have kids, there was so many people just being negative. Oh, have you heard of this? They're always just judging. And it's not that they were judging me, it's that they were unhappy with their own lives. And so they were just trying to throw and beat you down when you're trying to do something for yourself that's out of the ordinary.
Every human being, just let there be no confusion, every human being is imposing their inner truth on you. It's how humans work.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, I don't think this is the key. That's not bad.
Yeah.
You're in charge of understanding what I just said and deciding how you. I watched you just deploy real empathy to family you love who are in a tight spot emotionally.
Yeah.
None of those people you referenced that you love that are drinking 20 beers, and I had uncles drinking vodka because we were Russians, not Middle Americans.
I'm Polish.
There you go.
Understand.
So all of those guys were imposing negativity because they themselves, but you got to a place where you were strong enough, at 16 to make the jump. Now, obviously, you're even, it's like working out. You're even stronger than you've ever been.
Yeah.
So now you can deploy unlimited empathy and compassion towards them. But
Correct.
everyone who's listening, you getting mad at someone that's being mean or negative towards you is a silly concept.
Yeah.
It means you're weak.
Yeah.
It means you're weak.
And there's so many people out there.
No,
like
that's the whole world.
Yeah, it really is. And when I had my kids, I just was like, I don't care anymore. I don't.
Yeah, that
you know,
changes. Yeah. But man,
If I may,
go for it.
you didn't care before.
I
I'm
didn't,
telling you,
but
you didn't.
I heard it
Sure,
more.
but you respect, but
Yeah.
you didn't. Nobody's leaving a 4-generation lineage of this block at 16 if you were hearing it before.
Yeah,
You were
true.
not hearing it before.
That's fair.
I want
That's
to toss
fair.
in like the other thing, like Grant and I have gotten so much flack because of delusional optimism, but we are like
From who?
Everyone, we know.
no, but like on the flip side of what you were just talking about too is like we have a 45-year-old friend that it has the chops to like really kill it with a brand and kind of like doubtful of like if you should do it, and we're like, no, we're gonna help you do it, and you're gonna do it because you can do it, and like. Or there's people, like I always say, we have kind of like horse blinders on when building Dad Gang.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy to be like, yeah, but look what brand X and brand
Yeah.
Y is doing.
Yeah.
And we've always just been like, stop looking. They can win, we can win. And like but seriously, like I think I've like gone overboard with optimism at times. Like the worst things will happen. And Grant and I are like probably a little bit more this way because he's ops. But like, but we're
Somebody's
like,
got to be practical around here.
yeah. The worst
the
thing
dad
will,
in Dad
the
Gang.
worst
We're
thing
the
will
gang.
happen,
That's the dad.
and we're just like whatever, man. This is probably good for us.
Yeah.
And we find ways out of it.
Because it's true.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are like, yo, you're the fucking poster boy for toxic positivity. I'm like, okay, we're there now.
Yeah.
We're at a place where we're trying to demonize positivity.
Right.
Exactly.
Like, okay, like, please, I'll be the toxic Avenger. You know that weird green guy with the eye coming out of his fucking socket? I'll be that guy. If that's positivity, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm fucking in. Put me in the sewage, make me fully green,
Yeah.
swamp thing. Like, I'm in because I believe that it's not delusional.
No.
I actually, you guys know
we
my
just
content.
get called that.
Yeah, I mean, by
That's
who?
okay. By the people that are not
Doing.
optimistic about things.
That is- that
I
is
won't.
stuff.
I wouldn't.
And not
I
doing,
wouldn't
of
call
course.
you that. I always
course
say
you
this.
would.
Number one thing I believe in life: judge the judger.
Yeah.
Judge
Just flip
the
it back,
judger.
kind of.
Like, notice how I'm like picking. I'm like, who?
Yeah.
Oh, Rick from high school. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want Rick's life?
Yeah.
Like, the thought to take advice from someone who you do not want to be like blows my mind.
Yeah, or trade places with. That quote always hits hard. Like
it's so real to me.
Yeah.
Like I remember growing up, I got so much advice too.
Yeah.
Because in the liquor store, like especially with the liquor store, I was trying to push my dad to do things, and all these people are like, this other liquor store is doing really well. They don't do that. I'm like, I don't want to be that.
Yeah.
I get that they're doing $1 million more than my dad's liquor store. I'm like, I'm buying the jets.
Yeah.
I would never, ever, and to be frank, I have never had the capacity to really value anyone's point of view on anything, because even if there's people that are financially successful at a level that I aspired to as a kid, most of the time when I got to know them even for a second, I didn't want to be like them.
Yeah.
You know, like for me, if I'm looking at your guys' hat, I'm so honored to be part of this brand. If I had to start a brand right now, and I say this a lot, I would start a fashion brand called Nice Guys Finish First. And like the hat or the simple thing would just say nice guy. That is what I've aspired to my whole life.
Yeah.
That's what I found with the community that we have, is just being able to be there for each other without having to say it, because it is such a lonely road when you are having to block out all those noise and have the horse blinders on. And when you are traveling through life and you hit some lows and your bank account's at zero and you're waiting for the next paycheck and you're pushing bills off and your kid is sick, staying up all night, 3 nights in a row, have to take him to the ER to get breath work, to do all that, and then all of a sudden you don't sleep, you go right into work, and then your wife is going through everything for postpartum and all of that stuff, and then people are still talking and they're still talking. It's just it's such a lonely path when you're traveling there, where now with Dad Gang and the community that we have, I just feel like all of these dads have been able to embrace each other. And to me, that's just been the biggest thing that
How much have you guys thought about physical meetups?
we would love to.
They happen without us.
That I
Yeah.
understand. How much have we thought, something maybe off camera? I'm very big on the world going extremely analog.
Yeah.
Like I think the yearly conference is something definitely worth talking
We've thrown
about.
it around.
Yeah,
for
golf
sure.
tournaments, stuff like that we've talked about.
It's just so obvious.
Yeah.
Because you're right.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side, what happens is when you have a good community, what I'm always trying to think about is, it's crazy. You were just talking, and Train, who films me, a lot of times when I get into my most competitive zone or what have you, he'll do this, right? That. And it's funny, he does it, and because of it, I go there a lot, he does it probably, if we're filming for a day, it will happen at least once. and it was funny, I didn't want to, I've been yapping enough in this session, but I wanted to let you finish. But when you were, I have a very weird chemical imbalance that is my greatest gift. You were literally talking about being in the ER to 3 a.m, dealing with, everything you're dealing with, the fear of, what's going on in that ER, with the wife, with this. And I swear to fucking God, as you were talking, my chemicals were going, yeah. Like there's something super crazy about how I'm structured that I desperately want to impose on the world.
Yeah.
Like people ask me sometimes, like, if you could have anything happen, what would you do? I literally think about taking whatever the fuck my parents gave me, whatever my chemicals are, and put it into everyone, because I'm telling you again, I want everyone to hear this, you three especially. When you were saying that sounded interesting to me. Mm-hmm. There's something about adversity and pain.
Yeah.
And like back against the wall, and like me versus everyone, and like getting shit on, and like scars, and like I'm intoxicated by it.
Yeah, because it builds and it
Yeah, you
molds
love
somebody
losses.
so strong.
In a way that I'm telling you, like,
Yeah.
I know you guys know my stuff, and this is why I'm doubling down on this, in a way that's darker than you think.
No, so
it
here's another one for you. When we had our second child on the way, Dad Gang's kind of doing its thing, not enough to like leave our jobs or anything, but it's in motion. And we finally are closing on a house. And excited to close on a house, moving closer to my parents, more childcare.
Yeah, of course.
Things are gonna be great.
Yep.
The day I go to sign, I was the director of marketing for a skincare company, and the day I go to sign on closing, I get a random Tuesday meeting. Hey, heavily VC funded company.
We're
Hey,
over
our
it.
investors are restructuring. I've been there for 2 months. And they're like, so we got to cut you. Been there for 2 months. I just got done with onboarding pretty much. And then they're like, yeah, we got to let you go. And I'm like, fuck, I have this 11:30 signing appointment. So I'm going in there. They're like, so to your knowledge, are you still employed? I had 2 weeks left, so technically, yes.
Even if you didn't, the answer was yes to that, in that situation.
But like, because of stuff you said, because of things I've
lack the fear.
Leaned into it, and I go to my wife and I'm like, so I don't have a job. We're closing on the house, second kid on the way. I just went into like this, I called it demon mode. And I was like, fuck that. This is great. We're gonna network our ass off.
That's it.
Reach out to everybody you've worked with. And in that 1 week, I had 3 job offers. And it was like, don't let the loss kill you. Like, it's kind of like a nice boost.
You guys have followed my content for a long time. What we are doing right now is why I predominantly talk about mentality now.
Yeah.
I try to throw in live shopping. I try to throw in other stuff. But like when you just told that story, 90% of people won't do that, what you did.
Yeah.
But I actually believe if they just listen to this, if they start to hang out with people like this, if they just change what they consume and change what they hang out with, if they're in that 90%, 40% of that 90%, if they did that for a year, what they consumed, who they hung out with, would switch over. That drives my life.
Mine too, because we get so many messages all the time. There was this gentleman back in 2022 when we first started, and we had like 4 SKUs at the time, and he sent in a picture of his ID, this paperwork that said he was being evicted, and he sent a message into our inbox, and he was like, I'm getting evicted. I would just really love a hat if you wouldn't mind sending me one. I'm going, and
you told me
and
that.
just
Can I pitch something?
Yeah.
I'm making this up on the spot. I have no idea in our deal together what I'm required to do, but I'm throwing this out. I want to do something with you guys in August called Dad Hour, and we may do it like once every other month. I do not have an hour every other month to give you, but I'm so hyped right now. We're just doing it right here on the spot. You need to figure out which platform, whether it's Google Hangout, Zoom, whatever can allow the most amount of fucking people to be on virtually. I want to do something with you guys called Dad Hour, where we literally just do Q&A with people in your database.
Yeah.
And then you guys just like randomly give them hats and shit. I don't fucking care. We need to keep building on this energy.
I agree.
It's done.
Yeah.
We'll do it in August, October, and December. I'll commit to that right now. And then we'll, it'll be good for content. It'll be great for this community. And then let's see what happens from it. But Dad Hour.
Yeah.
I love
It's
it.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely like the analog stuff, meeting in person, getting on Zooms, like talking to the community more is definitely something we want to do.
Yeah, I'm feeling like very.
And you're the master of building community too.
Yeah,
so
but it can only happen through what I just said. Right now, we're just talking to.
Yeah.
We're not building community. We're building very good content that could be the gateway to community. But we're not building community.
Yeah.
That's why we need Dad Hour. Dad Hour, there's gonna be a bunch of little faces on 40 different screens, and 12 people or 9 people are gonna get to ask a question. Me or you guys or us or we or me will answer some of those questions, and that's gonna build community.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I know I'm gonna do in Dad Hour is be like, everybody say what city you're from. And then like 4 dads are gonna be like, oh, we're all in Wichita, Kansas.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's happening.
And, of course it's happening.
Yeah.
But we could force more of it.
Correct. Yep.
I mean, the Dad Gang doesn't exist without our group chat.
Of course.
I mean, if we didn't all connect and we weren't staying in touch through this group chat, I mean, we were building a mini community and not even realizing it. It was just brotherhood.
And you know what's funny? One of the things I want to pressure all the Dad Gang community to when we're on Dad Hour is to start a new group chat with only positive people.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Big time.
what. This is how I've gotten through.
No
the
shit.
Darkest time.
Yeah.
I've been following. I'm watching very carefully. I understand. The delusional optimists are made fun of until they're no longer in your life and you realize how much value they bring.
No, it would be funny. I have a friend.
Chop that up right there.
You like that? You like
good.
I'll have a friend get laid off, and I'm like,
That's great.
he'll get laid off, lose his job, and I'm like, good.
Yeah.
And he's like, "The fuck you talking about? Like, I don't even find
No
work." I'm
opportunity.
like, "This is your time. Like,
Yeah.
you're destined for that to happen." So.
I would argue every single human on earth that has a job has a better job at their fingertips without realizing it.
Yeah.
100% agree.
I believe that.
Everyone I know.
You guys should all quit. Right now. Right in their face. Not you, not you, Train. I'm pretty awesome. But I wish people knew that.
Yeah.
I really do. And it's so funny, the whole AI thing, obviously causing a lot of stir. If people just spent 3 hours a night, like learning it it would be the thing that would create their world instead of the thing that took them out.
Oh,
like it's
big
so
time.
obvious.
I mean, we're leveraging
Oh, I
AI
don't know.
like crazy.
Like, AJ and I will just nerd out every once in a while. I'm like, dude, look at what I just built in 15 minutes.
I'm using it for the ops side. We're using it for customer service. We're using it for all the PDP.
I launched a Shopify collaboration yesterday. So quickly.
Train, what was it? I posted 1,000.
I saw that.
1,014 pieces of content yesterday.
Yeah. Across like 19 platforms or something
Last
like
one
that.
I heard was like 462.
That's right.
You've just doubled it.
It's called AI.
There you go.
It's like, you know, by the way, I've added to my, Train, have we added to my team or subtracted from my team? You know, this is not, like, people don't get it. This is not about firing people. This is making 40 people feel like 400.
Yeah.
I keep laughing at companies that are like, yay, we're gonna fire everyone. I'm like, okay, good luck with that, because like the baseline of output pre-AI is what it is.
Yeah.
Like in my world, I was a savant to all of you by having 30 pieces of content a day. Right, everyone, right? This is a year ago on content. Everyone's like, Gary Vee is crazy, 30 a day. We're a company and we're doing 4. He's crazy. I'm sitting here a year later saying 1,000 a day.
Yeah.
So what's gonna happen is the baseline's gonna go up.
Yeah.
And like AI's amazing, but one person with AI is gonna have a tough time beating 2 people with AI.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, for
And
sure.
30 people with AI, like, and so I don't know. I'm genuinely, I just think the output, the impact, the production of the human race is gonna explode with this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to my in-laws, and they worked in the furniture industry forever, selling furniture to retailers, kind of demonizing AI when we first talked. And I was like, hey, Jan is my mother-in-law. I'm like, give me all of your contacts for furniture stores that you've ever worked with, and give me the lines that you're currently selling. And I'm gonna make it so that you don't have to sit there and Gmail everybody individually about the furniture you want to sell them. And the next day, Bart, it's all I'm using. It's the only thing I want to use. This is so great. So like, it takes one convo to like
The home computer, the internet, the mobile device.
all of it.
Yeah.
It's all the same shit.
Would you say like, and I've been kind of thinking this, it's like internet came around, social media came around, and this is kind of like that third tier of demonization that people.
Yeah, I think this is as big, here are the real things. There is AI, pre that, the blockchain. The blockchain's about to get a lot of praise. Right now it gets lumped into like bad things, bad crypto scams. With AI, one of the horrible things that not the horrible things, one of the most, because I actually don't think it's horrible, let me say it a different way. One of the challenging things we're gonna have to get through is fake videos.
Yeah.
Video proof has been the judge and jury of our society.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is gonna be more videos of me on the internet in 2 years of me saying horrible things, fake things, things I've never said, that you're not gonna know if I said or not, because you're not gonna be able to tell.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go through a whole era. The blockchain is a decentralized server that is based on truth, that is going to be very powerful in this era. So AI, the blockchain, the mobile device, the internet, personal computers. Those are the big ones.
Yeah.
I think the blockchain is probably the one that's most misunderstood still for its high potential. But I actually think this era of AI is gonna make people understand the value of the blockchain. And then obviously the mobile device is underestimated. The internet was very different when it wasn't available to us at all times in the real world.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are of the age, like you had to go to your computer to get on the
We
internet.
blocked phone calls.
Like, you know?
I blocked phone calls if I wanted to get on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So-
remember AIM, AOL,
Oh, yeah,
dial-up,
I got the
all that
disc in the
stuff.
mail and
It's cool. Our
everything.
generation got to grow through like a VHS to Napster to streaming to iPods. Like, we really got to embody all of that.
Yeah, and by the way, your kids are gonna embody even more stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's stuff that we don't even know.
I bought a DVD player just so they could see what it looks like.
You're crazy.
Yeah, but
He did go on a Blu-ray phase.
But like,
Oh, yeah, you did.
you know, I'm of the age, and we were poor when we got here. Like a lot of the kids that I knew had black and white television, not even color.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, bro.
And that wasn't that long ago.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, I'd love to kind of rap about
Please.
our fathers. You know, our
Yeah, let's do it.
One probably biggest thing I relate to you on is I moved here from Poland when I was 7 years old.
Yeah.
And my dad worked on, still does. He needs to stop, Dad. You're done. Alaskan fishing boats. So we'd live in Poland. He'd fly to Seattle, go out to Alaska for 3 months at a time, come back.
That's that.
Yeah. One of the most dangerous jobs in the world. And it's like, but through his hard work and dedication, and like, I think of some of the decisions I make, that I'm like, oh, should I move? Or should I do this or take a risk here? I'm like, parents didn't know English. They were 35 years old and switched countries, right?
Yeah.
And the sacrifice behind that, I'm just like so thankful to them. And I think all of our dads, yours too, and Grant's, like, have made such like work for family sacrifices that it made us probably develop the brand even more so because of that kind of stuff.
Every father is a blessing. One, his sperm became you. Let's just start with that. You don't exist without his semen. You know. So let's start with that.
Chop that up.
Thanks, Dad.
Two.
Alaskan semen.
Two, this is really important to understand. What fathers do for all of us and what we will do for our children is we will show them things that they want to be and we will show them things they don't want to be. And that's a gift.
Yeah.
You know, I have a lot of friends who are living different lives than I lived, who grew up with far more than I did. And what they saw was they didn't want to work as much.
Right.
And I don't judge that. I mean, I do a little bit because I'm funny like that. But, you know, like, I mean, there's so many things my father taught me. And a lot of it was things I don't want to do. And I thank the world for that.
Yeah.
Because it's on me. But he also taught me a lot of things I do want to do. And I know that my work ethic comes from him, and it's one of my great superpowers.
Yeah.
I also don't eat breakfast or lunch. My dad taught me that. Huge advantage. While my competition's having a salad for an hour, I'm dominating the food. You know, like, and so.
My dad's gonna love that. He doesn't have breakfast or lunch either.
Right, because that's retail.
Yeah.
Retail, where like the store's open.
You're working.
Like if we left the register, especially small retail, like you and I grew up with, you can't go to lunch. Like the store's open. Like when are you gonna go? Like, you know, in some small towns back in the day, it would literally gone for lunch, but like that was not the mindset of the 90s. Like the store was open. Like you couldn't go to. Like I don't think people even understand. You couldn't go to lunch. You know, but most of all, what my dad taught me was, and that has saved my life. I was gifted genetically with the gift of gab. If I did not have a principled father who thought embellishment was a crime, that you had to be fucking the truth. I do not believe I'm sitting here admired without that. I believe that what I'm saying. I give my mom so many flowers, and everybody has seen that content, but I'm gonna say it more direct with more truth than I've ever said it to honor my dad in this incredible partnership we have. I do not believe that I am an admirable man without my dad, because at 14, 15, 16, when I still had a few minutes where I could change the course of my life, I believe I would have been like a lot of people that are, it's the reason sometimes people when they first meet me, they're like, wait a minute, because we can sense someone who's got the gift. And unfortunately, a lot of times when you have the gift, you become a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I had I could have started a cult. I have the gift to start like a crazy cult. I could have but real talk. Like some people just have so much charisma. They go on to become incredible politicians. They go on to become cult leaders. They go on to become incredible, sometimes incredible religious leaders that are good. They go on to become the people we put on pedestals, Gandhi and Martin Luther King. And like, I was gifted that.
Yeah, big time.
And what my dad did was converted it into, it's just like it's back to me. It's so funny that I get to say this. I said, fuck chemistry, and now I'm saying chemistry's the best. In the lab, my dad was able to add a part to the potion that made me a dramatically better version of myself.
Do you think it's because he was embedded in your community, like on a small mom and pop shop, like he dealt with people? No?
Nope. In fact, I taught my dad how to be nice to customers. I'm being dead serious.
Yeah.
My dad viewed you understand, I used to not understand it. You might understand this. My dad grew up in a culture in the Soviet Union for the first 25 years of his life where everybody stole everything because it was communism and the government owned everything, so everything was black market and stolen. My dad looked at every customer that walked through his store before I started working for him as someone who was trying to steal.
Yeah, I've seen my dad jump over a counter and chase somebody who's stealing.
My dad chased someone that stole. My dad's 72 years old. 3 years ago, my dad chased someone out the store and got into a fisticuff.
Yeah.
way.
Swear
3
to
years
God.
ago, somebody
My
stole
dad
my
was
dad's
69 years
phone.
old. This is 3 years ago. My dad ran out. It was a woman, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
And like they tackled, and he got it out, and the bottle broke on the ground, and he felt very proud of himself.
My dad did the same
And I
thing.
said to my dad, he's gonna get shot one day.
Damn.
3 years ago, somebody stole my dad's phone, and he tracked it. And this is like the worst part of town. And he went, and I'm like, Dad, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah.
Like, we'll buy you a new phone, like, you're fine.
No,
He's
no.
like, no, that's my phone. It's the
Yeah.
principle. It's like,
Yep.
you can go teach him a lesson.
The amount of men that have died on principle is staggering.
Yeah.
You know,
I think, to your point.
died. By the way, I was saying dead.
Yeah.
Not saying like
Not living anymore.
Principle is really ingrained in a certain kind of man.
Yeah.
I'm not as like delusional on that. I think safety matters.
Big time.
I think like play for another day matters. But some dudes will fucking, and by the way, when the shit really hits the fan, which does in mankind,
Yeah.
we are really happy to have guys like your dad and I.
Big time. Yeah.
I always say this, you know, especially when people get a little too soft. They're like, fuck that guy. I'm like, fuck that guy until China invades.
Yeah.
Yep.
Find out how fast you love that guy.
Yeah.
You know what house you're going to who has the arsenal.
Everybody that hates Joe Rogan likes him a whole lot more when China invades. You know, like it's just real life, and this goes back to manhood. Like, and again, it goes back to balance.
Yeah.
Listen, everything in balance,
Yeah.
right? But like, you know, when shit hits the fan, my dad had a liquor store in a blue collar town in Clark, New Jersey, where the store was right next to the bank that he deposited the money. This is a true story.
Like Bank of America auto shop.
You don't know this story. Watch this one. My dad goes in on a normal day. This is fucking 30 years ago. The bank is getting robbed. Robbed. A bank robbery. He's like walking in as these guys are walking out. He and my uncle, him and his brother-in-law, my uncle Joseph, are walking in because my uncle Joseph at the time was managing that store. Eventually my dad sold him that store. He throws my uncle into the car and chases the bank robbers.
No way.
Do you know how insane that is?
That's insane.
No self. It's not like he was. I was like, when I talked to him about it, I've never told this story publicly. I'm like, where do you think that was going? It'd be one thing if he did it today. I'd be like, okay, like you can call, you're a hero. You're like, here's the license. But this is 1989.
He's getting that money back.
I don't. And by the way, he didn't know what he was doing. This goes back to principle. Like some men are just so wired. And that was my father. That is my father. And boy, did I need that.
Yeah.
Because my mom, who's my greatest cheerleader, she let me run loose on Gift of Gab because she rightfully saw it as a superpower. But my dad's honor saved my life.
My mom's always believed in me.
amazing.
Always believed in me. But my dad has always been that strict one too, that laid that hammer down the best he could.
Well, look, I mean,
it's-
like we are all kind of in a very similar place of like nurture and like the hunter and like, and I think we talk a lot, and that is what has thrown off a lot of young men is like not. First of all, my father, I love him so much. I also have so much compassion for him. He did not have the mother I had. I knew my grandma very well. But I'm not mad at her because I knew her mom. I knew my great grandma well because I was in the old country. Everybody had, you know, back in our part of the world, in the old country, everybody had kids at 20.
Yeah.
My
19,
mom had
20.
Yeah. So you were 60, you were a great grandma.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and so not everybody has the same, you know, path we had. My dad's mom was challenging. His dad traveled a lot and then he died when my dad was 15. And so like, you know, not everyone has the fortune of the parenting structure. And I want to say this because a lot of people consume a lot of my content where I talk about parenting structure. You can create your structure by the people you spend time with after you get out of the house.
Yeah.
And that is important. Whether it was toxic and you find it, or even yours, which was, it wasn't toxic, you were just a big ship and you needed a big piece of water.
Yeah. I watched my mom work so hard and she ended up doing well at Boeing, you know, but she worked so hard and I just wanted more for her. And I wanted more. I just wanted to see her enjoy life. We lived in a 1-bedroom because my parents split before I was 2. And we lived in a 1-bedroom apartment in West Seattle and my mom had the living room and she gave me the bedroom. you know, when I was like 3 years old. And so I just wanted so much for her, where I knew my dad was always gonna be fine because he had that. My dad was still is, community-driven man, just loves
And where
connecting.
Where does he live?
In Rainier Beach in Seattle, Washington.
Yep.
And we just, you know, I knew he was always gonna be good, but I didn't know if my mom was always gonna be okay.
And when you're a boy and your parents are separated and your mom, you become the protector of her as you continue to grow, you know, from 4 to 6 to 9 to 13. It makes sense.
Yeah.
And this is why I keep telling everybody adversity is amazing.
So good.
That was true adversity for you.
Yeah.
Adversity is the core foundation of success.
Yeah.
It is very hard to have sustained success when you had a lack of adversity in your life, because growing up, because when you then become grown and you face adversity, you haven't tasted it before. This is why 8th place trophies are a problem. I wish on everyone to be born into a family that is not destined to have adversity. Why on earth wouldn't we want children to be born into homes of a happy marriage and and picket fence? Why wouldn't we want that? That's why sports matter so much.
Correct, yeah.
If you got lucky, and there are people that get lucky, that are born into a nice sitch, it's awesome. Well, then sports is the place where you're gonna get punched in the mouth.
Yeah.
You know, to then have those same parents eliminate the merit of sports really fucks up a child, which is why we have so many 25-year-old children.
Yeah.
We have unlimited 25. Do you know how many 27-year-old men right now are walking around Earth and are being tracked on the family app by their moms?
Too many.
Phone bill paid for.
Yeah.
But like really, even forget about Nepo financial.
Yeah,
That is the story as old as time. Wealthy family.
But actually,
I'm talking about
helicopter.
something out. Yeah.
A
Like
lot,
financial is already a vulnerability.
For sure.
This new version, this new 3.0 Nepo thing we have, which is one family tracking system, and you're a 28-year-old man, and you're out and about in the city, and your mom is in Indiana texting you like, why aren't you home, honey? You have work tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
That's wild.
Bro, do you know how real this? Do you know this is real?
Yeah, oh yeah.
This is
Yeah,
real.
I do.
You guys know this?
Yeah.
This is real. Like, I mean, I don't know if you guys can see my goosebumps.
Yeah.
This may be the singular biggest issue of our time.
Big time, yeah.
Yeah.
It may be. Men, if you're listening right now, if you are over 18 years old, but fuck it, I'll be soft. If you were over 22 years old, you are out of college, or the age that you should be out of college, or are out of college. If your parents have a tracking system on your phone, you're a fucking loser. You must get them off. And I do not care if this is the reason they have it on, because you're taking money from them. Most people still allow it because of the financial part. You are never, I'm gonna give Harmon Skurnick, this is gonna be funny if anyone knows who he is, he's gonna get pinged. Harmon Skurnick said one of the most profound things to me in my life. Harmon Skurnick currently runs a very large liquor and wine, predominantly wine distributorship here in New York with his brother Michael. Great company called Michael Skurnick Wines. Harmon joined later. I was in Italy on a wine trip. I was 25 years old. These wine trips were great because I got, you know, when you go to Italy for a week, you get time. You get a 3-hour drive to the vineyard. You get time with people. Mm-hmm. This is when I got to really know Harmon. And Harmon said something I've never forgotten. We got deep, especially on the third, when you get to the third winery and you have a little bit of wine in the other two, you can get deep, right?
Yeah.
He said to me that you're never fully a man until your father dies. And I don't know what it was. Now I do know what it was. I grew up fearing my parents dying. I actually believe the reason I'm such a happy person is it didn't happen. I think I've basically been playing with emotional house money since I was 18. My mom lost her mom at 5. I just told you my dad lost his, and we were from the old country, and I was born in the old country, and I was the oldest sibling, and my mom every month, or at least it felt like every month, would say things to me like, if anything ever happens to mom and dad, you've got to take care of the family. I'm at like 7. Yeah. I'm still peeing my bed at night, which I did until 11, by the way, for all the parents that are, if you have a kid that's peeing their bed to 11, just tell them Gary Vee did too. But like, I'm peeing my fucking bed at night, but also being told by my hero, my mom, like, if anything happens to the family, like, it was a big, my only recurring dream of my life was a nightmare of my family dying in a plane crash. Like, it was a big part of my life. So I'm sure at 25, when Harmon said that, it probably triggered, right? thank God I've still not felt that. And for most of my life, I've felt equally my father's father as I felt like he was my father. But I will say that if you're 25 years old and your parents are tracking you on a fucking app, like you are not a man. You're an animal. You're a dog. And like you need to get off that. And if the reason you're on is because mommy and daddy are kicking you a couple bucks each week or paying for your Uber or your Equinox or your rent or like, I get it, it sucks, but like go sell stuff on fucking eBay. Like get the fuck off the payroll, be a man, stand on your own 2 feet. Maybe you can't keep up with your other buddies and you might have to miss a fucking golf trip or a Costa Rica thing. And maybe you can't, use mommy and daddy's money to take out prettier girls because you need the money to win them over. I don't know what's going through your mind. Let me tell you the only thing that should be going through your mind. You are not a real man until you get off your parents' payroll.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen to that.
Yeah. You like it? It's really fun.
He's actively being tracked right
like,
now.
Yeah, but bro, right? Like I don't know, like that's why I think I got the goose. Like I've never said that way. Like that's the one. And I will tell you, you will be more proud of yourself being off the payroll, living humbly, because I know, because I'm getting the texts and the DMs from the kids that are mad at their parents. I'm getting texts and DMs from 27-year-old men mad at their parents for giving them money.
Yeah.
And by the way, one of the only times I was consuming a trend, this is about 7-8 years ago, because I've talked about this in different ways. It was the only time it took me a few months to understand what was going on, because I couldn't comprehend the idea of being mad at your parents for them giving you stuff. Right. Because I wasn't on the receiving end of that. A lot of people try to claim I was. I built my daddy's business for him. My daddy did not give his business to me.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you've been pretty clear about that.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people try to weaponize it.
They still try to find it.
Yeah,
of course.
But like, I'm in rarefied air. There are very few people that are as talented as I am, that work 100 hours a week for 12 straight years to build a business for their family and leave with nothing. I started VaynerMedia in the conference room of another company when I was 34 years old because I didn't have enough money to pay rent.
Yeah, that's big.
So that's why I have so much passion for everyone. They feel lesser than. It feels good when you've got like the extra bucks on this Saturday to go to the beach or whatever. It feels really bad on Monday when you know you're still sucking from the tit.
Yeah.
Of your mom, by the way. If you're trying to,
Well, I think you might have mentioned it or heard it throughout this conversation, but we want to officially make it an announcement right here, right now. So it's been the three of us for 4 years now. Ejay, Grant, and I running Dad Gang, building it from a text thread to now over 1 million hats sold in 4 years. Just past that mark, going into retail. It's been fucking awesome. Like, find happiness in your life. We found it. We love it. You just had a podcast. You talked about get as close to the sun as you possibly can. Watched that the other day. We've all looked up to you, have taken your advice, have stopped watching you so we can actually do the shit you say. And it's an honor, to bring you on to Dad Gang and have you, help us take this to new heights, to more community, to just, we're on the sun at this point. You said get as close to the sun as possible, and we're here. And just for reference, Gary said if you want to, if you want to be like someone or get around them, or if you aspire to get in a position like someone else, get as close to the sun as you possibly can. So I'll let you emphasize that a little bit.
Yeah, a couple things. First, thank you, man. Like, with Ejay and Vayner Sports, actually we're filming on top of Fly Fish Club with David Rodolitz and, Capon and Chef Connor with VCR Group, our restaurant group. With Vayner Watt, my TV production company that a lot of you are gonna get to know because we have a ton of shows we've sold, and you'll be on Netflix and Hulu and ABC and see the Vayner Watt logo. I'm involved in businesses where I'm much more deeper involved than just writing a check as an investor. And none of those things could be successful if the 1A, Ejay, David Rodolitz, Eric Wattenberg, weren't so remarkable. So I look for opportunities where there is remarkable execution. You guys are that. Like, I'm not here for fun. I've worked very hard to have unlimited opportunities. Victoria's in the background right now. She's probably seen an opportunity for me that's meaningful come through in my inbox since we've been sitting here. That's how often it comes. And so I'm humbled and honored and feel very good about what I've created, but I have to say no to everything. So for me to say yes to get involved, I'm involved, I'm now, have equity in this business, but I'm required to do things, and you guys know this. The one thing I don't have is time. It is the asset, right? Back to, I need more time. Like time, let there be no confusion. Now, I talk about patience, so I don't mean, but time is the asset. So, and I'm grown now. I know how to make good decisions. So for everybody listening on the other side, for me to do this is an incredible indication to my belief in what you guys are doing. And as far as bringing value to everyone's listening, yes, I do believe that you need to get as close to the sun as possible. When I started building VFriends, the most interesting meeting I had in the entire time was the 2 hours I got to spend with Bob Iger, who was the CEO of Disney at the time, because I'm building Disney. I'm building Pokemon. I'm building Marvel. I wish Stan Lee passed away, right? Yeah. Like, I just got scared for a second. Like my brain broke for a second. I'm like, wait, you can't say someone's dead when they're alive. But I knew, I wish Stan Lee was alive.
Yeah.
It would be a very real thing for me to go find him right now. I wish Jim Henson was alive. If you look at the early videos of VFriends, I think that I'm building Disney. I've now come to learn I'm building much more Sesame Street, right? My character. When I've really wrapped my head around what Jim Henson did. Do you know how important Sesame Street is, man? Do you know how profoundly impactful Sesame Street has been to create inclusion and eliminate hate? I aspire to be Jim Henson. Like, VFriends for me is like really meaningful. I always call it my most selfless and selfish endeavor. And one of the reasons I wanted to do this is I find Dad Gang to be a very rare company that is selfless and selfish. It's selfish because you men are trying to build as big of a fucking company as possible. Why on earth wouldn't you want this to be $1 trillion company? You're entrepreneurs, you're building. But when it has collateral selfless value, which I think inspired me to just make up on the spot right now, the Dad Hour.
Yeah, I love it.
By the way, to break the fourth wall, that was spontaneous. They're pumped right now. They just got something they didn't know they were getting.
Yeah, we just kind of had a meeting.
It's because, yes, I want to sell 17 trillion hats. And yes, in my own mind, and we'll see how good of an advisor I am to you, I get excited about debating what other categories we could go into and what other ways. But the fact that, knowing that two dads are gonna see each other in the airport today wearing this hat and feel a little more supported with a micro ounce of humanity. Yeah. Like seeing somebody pass you by and just giving a head nod, yeah, you're getting it. It's very similar to what's happening right now. It's why I love sports. Do you know what happened on the 30-minute drive here for me this morning? I am always on the phone, did not look at my phone at all. All I did was watch all the people interacting in New York City with each other wearing Knicks clothes.
Yeah. So special.
It's special. And sports is tribalism, and humans are tribal. And humans are tribal, and that's our biggest gift. And humans are tribal, and it's our biggest vulnerability. When tribalism is used to hurt other tribes, bad. When tribalism is used to give support to each other, remarkable. And dads supporting dads is one of the great ways to make the world a much better place. And this is a tiny speck in that. We're an apparel business, but it is a speck that is selfless. It's not, it's not just a swoosh, which is also awesome. Just do it all. I like all that, but it's fucking literal. Dad Gang.
Yeah.
We're in this together, even though you might not think we are. If we can get people to actually believe that.
100%.
There it is.
That's it.
Dad Gang, Gary V.
Fourth partner, Gary V.
Love it.
I honestly, that's so humbling. The thing that I'm starting to see that's very rare out there. I think this is new, what I'm trying to invent, is almost like the active chairman of the board member or a board, right? Yeah. A board member that does shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean?
Not just gives advice.
Yeah, an operating board, like.
Same with Ejay. I mean, so much love to him.
He's the secret sauce.
He is incredible.
It's like, he's not on this conversation, but like, I just want to give him his flowers. It's just like, I love how he strives to it's not even like hitting metrics or anything, just out of like human good over deliver.
Well, you're gonna get me emotional right now. He's that anyway. That's who he is. He got a lot more of my dad's DNA, so he was kind of honorable to begin with. But the reason you're feeling that, he just wants to make sure that I don't underdeliver on what I promised to this partnership to uphold my honor and name. And that's what's driving him to be who he is for you. And that obviously feels very nice for me.
Yeah.
He's the fucking man.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
incredible.
he's legit. You know, it's funny, when we started VaynerMedia, we started as 50-50 partners. And because we didn't know what the business was gonna be. We didn't know who was what, you know, back to sports, like I was already an all-star, but he was like a first round pick, right? Something I admire about Ejay is somewhere about 5 to 7 years in, you know, and I don't even know if I have a lot of humility, but like, and I'm not a younger brother who's 11 years younger, so I don't know his framework, but I always appreciated, in a way that my father was unable to calibrate who I was and who he was when we worked together, my brother was able to.
Yeah.
My brother was able to say, 5 years in, we're different. You're better than me. You deserve more than I deserve. You're more impactful. And I appreciate that. And I know why he did it, because I was incredibly, and I am, because I don't want to shortchange myself, and I also want to teach lessons. It was because, what my brother did was he honored my generosity at a time where I don't think I could have fought for my fair share.
Yeah. That's
I think
huge.
it's a huge lesson to everyone. I think a lot of people will take advantage of someone like me. And I think to have the strength to not do that is something that I admire, because my brother is uncomfortably talented and brilliant and all those things. To have the humility when you're an all-star to create a support system to your first ballot Hall of Fame partner is a level of humility and love that I think most people don't deploy in family businesses.
Yeah,
That's real.
that is.
And that's something important for you guys. It's impossible that all three of you are contributing 33.3% to the business.
Yeah.
And it's impossible for all of you to contribute to the impact of the business at the same percentage at all the same times. It will evolve.
Yeah.
And it's important that you guys over communicate the way that Ejay and I have. There was no going back to me and Ejay because of tax law. Ejay won on the VaynerMedia thing. But subsequent businesses we've done together, we've reconciled to the best of our ability.
Yeah.
Long game.
You guys are structured the way you're structured.
Yeah.
Nothing, you do something next year that is just so overwhelming. There's nothing that can be done. He can't just give, if he's like, my God, he can't just give you 10% of it. There's tax, like, it's hard.
Yeah.
But over communication with each other, especially because you guys are so young, there's a substantial chance, look, you might be emotional about Dad Gang and think you're gonna just do this for the rest of your life. There's also a chance that you're not.
Yeah.
And there's other things to life besides the business. It's important that the three of you always know that who's doing what. It's sports, it's like a team. This season, you just might have a great year and you might just tear your fucking ACL, you know?
Hope not.
You know,
Visual.
but what's awesome about business, unlike sports, is you're actually signing lifetime contracts and you have time to reconcile, but do not allow resentment to seep in when you think you're carrying an extra weight in a season. And know there are upcoming seasons. That's important. 3 partners is a very hard thing.
Yeah.
You guys should be commended for your energy towards each other, but you're still only in year 4.
Yeah.
And I think the reason I just told that long-winded story is, one, to give my brother roses, because he was also a child when he had the emotional capacity to know what to do. Not that I didn't earn that respect, but you guys are brothers, but you're not brothers. And only communication will make sure that this lasts forever. And obviously I'm sharing that with you guys, but I'm sharing it with everyone who's listening, because there's a lot of dads that are in businesses with their siblings, their cousins, their dads, their grandchildren, blah, 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 blah. Family businesses are hard.
Yeah.
And lack of communication is always the way for it to not work out.
Yeah. We've been in a text thread 24/7 for 4 years now.
Doesn't stop.
Yeah.
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 The form factor or utility you created for communication doesn't mean you're actually having the real communication.
For sure.
Yeah. Big
What you
time.
need to challenge yourself on is, crying about micro things all the time becomes like bitch work. So you don't want to do that. But you do need to recognize if you've sat in something for 3 to 6 to 9 months that's upsetting you or concerning you, you need to talk that out.
Yeah.
Oh, we've experienced some conversations, haven't we? No, I'm just kidding.
For sure. Yeah.
No.
Definitely got it.
Yeah, no.
It's good. It's just, it's like you're in this interesting phase. It's just
Yeah.
like children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like companies are like children. You're now in year 5. Like it gets different.
Yeah.
Having a 7-year-old.
Kindergarten's
Yeah,
about to start.
That's right.
Yeah.
You're gonna stop pooping your pants soon.
Yeah.
Maybe. No.
Awesome. Well,
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
This was
Thank you.
great.